And Will is coming out with a big smile on his face, like he's not worried about nothing because he knows that all of this stuff is going to disappear. Pure survival. Ain't no way that I'm going to be smiling, I'm going to be laughing if I know that all of this stuff is out there. The only way I'm going to be smiling like this.
Looks like Jada and Will Smith are tangled up way deeper in this wild Hollywood web that's being ripped open right now. Their former assistant, Bilal, isn't holding back anymore. He's calling everything out loud and clear. What makes it even more shocking is that Bilal is currently locked in a nasty legal fight with Jada, and he's claiming she straight up threatened his life. Just days after he filed that lawsuit, he supposedly got into a strange accident all the way in Colombia. Can you believe that? The crazy part is, he went to Colombia in the first place because he said he was scared someone was coming for him. Now that the Epstein files have dropped and people are starting to see what's really happening behind the Hollywood curtains, Bilal's stepping right back into the spotlight to spill every drop of tea he's got. He knows everyone's finally ready to hear him out. According to what he's saying in the lawsuit, things got heated when Jada allegedly confronted him during Will's birthday bash on September 25th. That's when everything started spiraling out of control.
I said, what the F is wrong with you? And he was like, you know. He said, you know Will me. You know Diddy made me suck it. You know what's going on. You know Charlie made me suck. And I said, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea. So he crying, no blood is coming from his nose. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
The showdown allegedly went down in 2021 at the Regency Calabasas Common, and according to Bilal, things got real intense. He says Jada straight up told him that if he didn't stop talking, she was going to have one of her people handle it. That's some serious heat. In the court documents, Bilal claims that while he was standing in the lobby, Jada Pinkett Smith rolled up with about 7 people from her crew. She allegedly got in his face, started shouting, and told him, "If you keep spreading my personal business, you'll end up missing or catch a bullet." She then supposedly demanded he sign a non-disclosure agreement, or else. Can you imagine how wild that must have been? At that time, Bilal hadn't even done any public interviews about Jada or Will, but apparently he'd been talking a little too much behind the scenes, and word must have slipped. Back to her. Instead of staying quiet though, this man did the total opposite. He went on the show and started a whole series of explosive interviews. In those interviews, Bilal began dropping stories that nobody had ever heard before about Will and Jada's private world. He even claimed that, back when he was still working as Will's assistant, he once walked in on something shocking between Will and his friend Dwayne Martin. It left everyone speechless. When Jada found out Bilal wasn't just gossiping in private anymore, but actually blasting her business all over the internet, she was furious. Reports say she tried to shut him down fast, allegedly pulling every string she could to silence him. She even threatened to sue him for defamation and accused him of trying to extort her. That's how intense this feud got. But instead of backing off, Bilal went even harder. He popped right back up in another Tasha K interview and threw out a warning, saying that if Jada didn't follow through with that defamation lawsuit, he'd come back for a part 3 and go all in. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. Since Jada never filed the lawsuit,
who else did you see allegedly on the tapes?
Tyrese with Will and Jada. Then the one with Charlie Mack and Will. Jada's not on it, but you can hear her say, make him spit up, period. So when these tapes come out, people will know I'm telling the absolute truth.
Bilal kept his word and sat down for round 3. And this time, he didn't hold anything back. He dropped some of the most jaw-dropping claims yet, saying that Will and Jada were part of a so-called mentorship network, where rising rappers and actors were allegedly being taken advantage of by older men. Bilal even claimed he's got proof tying this situation to what happened with Bryshere Gray. He swore he had evidence showing exactly how deep this mess went, and people were left stunned. Bilal went on to claim that all of this led Bryshere Gray down a dark path. He said the actor ended up struggling with substances and eventually getting caught up in a messy scene online. According to Bilal, Will Smith and Diddy were allegedly running a fake mentorship program for young men in the industry, and that's how Bryshere supposedly got pulled into their circle. This is wild. For some background, Bilal said the whole mentorship story traces back to Bryshere's Empire days. His mother, Andrea, and his former manager, Charlie Mack, apparently thought it would be a great opportunity to get him guidance from powerful figures like Will and Diddy. At that time, Bryshere was blowing up from Empire, so it all seemed like perfect timing. But Bilal claimed during his interview with Tasha K that this program wasn't what it appeared to be at all. He said it was just a front for something way darker, hinting that the so-called mentorship might have been covering up serious misconduct. And when you connect this to what's been coming out in the Epstein files and Diddy's recent controversies, it raises some serious questions. If you've heard about those wild Hollywood parties, then you know this sounds like the same dark pattern that keeps popping up among industry ballisters, elites. Bilal claimed that during a trip to Chicago, Bryshere Gray broke down in front of him and confessed that Diddy and Will...
He's with my man Charlie Mack, so Charlie was with me every step of the way. First out the limo, so Charlie has been with me, 30 years coming up in the business. So, he's surrounded by a whole lot of strength. He's surrounded by a whole lot of love. And all he has to do is add discipline, and he gonna be all right.
It's like Uncle Will, who is best to give you advice, and it's Will Smith, and I'm getting so much good advice. I got my first acting role, Empire, and it's changing my life, and it's like I'm listening from the greatest, and it's like making me well prepared to work with Taraji and Terrence Howard.
Had allegedly been involving him in disturbing freak-off situations. It's the kind of confession that leaves you frozen in disbelief. Bilal didn't stop there. He went on to say that Jada supposedly has all the tapes from those so-called freak-offs, even ones that allegedly involved Tyrese and Will. That's an explosive claim that had social media spinning out of control. People started believing Bilal for a few key reasons. First, Jada seemed so pressed about what he was saying that she allegedly went as far as to threaten his life instead of calmly taking legal action. And second, even after she did involve the police, she never actually followed through with the defamation lawsuit she talked about. Think about it. If everything Bilal was saying were total lies, wouldn't it make sense to just sue him and shut him down completely? The fact that she didn't has everyone side-eyeing the situation and wondering what's really going on behind those Hollywood gates, unless Bilal's actually telling the truth. Because if he is, that might explain why Jada wouldn't risk a lawsuit that could open the door to a deeper investigation into everything he's accusing her of. It's a wild thought, but people can't help wondering. And here's where things get even messier. Before Bilal ever came forward, singer Jaguar Wright had already dropped similar claims in multiple interviews. She's built a rep as one of the most outspoken whistleblowers in the industry, so folks took her words seriously.
Different ways to silence people. And look at the people that's surrounding Will. These are some big time
They do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bashir Gray left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
Have collectively, including Will Smith. Let's not leave him out. Why your son hates you? Why does your son hate you? What did you?
The chances of her just making all this up seem pretty slim. Jaguar even claimed there was an incident where one of Will Smith's neighbors allegedly called the police after hearing chaos coming from his house. She said 2 men, later identified as Bryshere Gray and Meek Mill, were seen running out, screaming for help after something reportedly went wrong during a so-called session. That's straight up chilling. Jaguar didn't stop there either. She hinted that some of this same troubling behavior may have affected Will's own family. According to her, there were tensions at home that might explain why Jaden eventually decided to move out. The way she told it, the whole situation sounded dark and heartbreaking. But Jaguar Wright didn't stop there. After Bilal dropped his bombshell claims about Jada, she jumped right back into the mix with even wilder allegations. She claimed that there's a secret tape involving Justin Bieber, Will Smith, Jaden Smith, Diddy, and Bryshere Gray, all caught up in a wild scene together, sweaty, out of control, and allegedly under the influence. That's the kind of claim that sends shockwaves through the whole industry. At this point,
door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal with Will.
Let me process that for a second.
There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up, killing him. Like, it was murder there.
It's hard not to think about August Alsina, too. Remember how he came into Jada's life when he was struggling emotionally and physically? She said she brought him in for spiritual guidance, but a lot of people now believe he might have been another victim of this so-called mentorship circle. The timing lines up almost too perfectly. And now that the Epstein files are out, Exposing just how deep and twisted some of these Hollywood connections run, everything suddenly starts to make more sense. According to the rumors, Jada might have been the real mastermind behind this mentorship setup. Since her career never reached the heights she wanted, people claim this was her way to stay powerful and keep the money flowing. Now here's where things take an even wilder turn.
On his mouth so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Remember how Bilal filed that lawsuit against Jada after claiming she threatened his life? Well, while he was battling her in court, he also started looking out for his own safety. Right after wrapping up his last explosive interview with Tasha K, Bilal reportedly booked the next flight out, to Colombia, to keep a low profile and stay out of harm's way. But even that move didn't save him. Just days after landing there, Bilal was allegedly caught in a terrifying car accident that left him in a coma for weeks. And on top of that, he was fighting pneumonia while in recovery. The timing of it all had people talking nonstop. According to what's being said online, if anything ever happens to Bilal now,
we all want family. That's what we've been taught. We've been taught to we live, we grow, we create a family. I mean, that's what you do. You be with your family. You know what I'm saying? So it's a void out here for a lot of people. I know for me, I feel a void in my life because I can't get down with my family. Like,
fans are promising that Will and Diddy won't hear the end of it. The internet is already on high alert, watching every move connected to this story. And get this, when Will was recently asked about the accusations circling around him, he reportedly gave this strange, chilling smile, like he already knew more than he was letting on. People couldn't stop replaying that moment. It gave everyone goosebumps. I don't know about you, but something dark seems to be going on here. If Bilal's family doesn't keep a close eye on him and make sure he's protected, things could take a tragic turn, and that's got everyone seriously worried. With the Epstein files now out in the open, people are starting to pay way more attention to what's been hiding behind Hollywood's shiny curtain. It's like the truth is finally catching up, and a lot of powerful folks are panicking. No wonder so many celebrities are suddenly running off to other countries and buying secret properties overseas. Word on the street is that Jada and Will might have done the same thing, allegedly purchasing a home outside the US just in case things get too hot. One insider even claimed these Hollywood elites are working overtime to keep their locations private because, supposedly, there are so many of them tangled up in this mess. The whole situation feels straight up sinister. Someone online said it best, "This whole thing is out of control. Everyone can see what's happening. They're after him and others too, but the truth can't be hidden forever." And honestly, they might be right. The world's watching now, and no amount of silence can stop the truth from coming out. If there's nothing to hide, why be so scared of the truth, right? People are saying that Bilal's warnings to Jada sound more like a message than a threat, like he knows something huge is coming. But what do you think? Could Jada and Will actually end up facing serious consequences after all these shocking claims? Or is this just another round of Hollywood drama spinning out of control? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. I want to hear what you think. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment to keep this story alive. This one's far from over.